So, today we're going to go over triangles and what they can be used for. They're actually used in a lot of things, and especially they're really used in the heavy math professions such as engineering or physics. But today we're just going to go over the basics of them, and we're not necessarily going to get too deep into them. Test. Can you hear me? Let's see how this is working. The board. Hello. Okay. Welcome to Kimtar's Math. There's some basic principles that everyone should know about triangles before we get started. The first thing is they have three sides, and all three of their angles add up to 180 degrees. So there are three basic types of triangles. First type is this right triangle, which I drew for you. Second type will be this guy right here, which is an equilateral triangle. And the third type is a scalene. Alright, so let's talk about the differences between these triangles. The first type, an equilateral triangle, very simple. It means all of the sides are equal and all of the angles are equal. The second triangle is an isosceles triangle. That's where two sides are equal, the third side is not, and two angles are equal, and the third angle is not. The last type is a scalene triangle, where absolutely none of the angles or the sides are equal. Before we go any further, let's talk about the types of angles that you can find in triangles. You have three types of angles, or three types of triangles: acute, right, or obtuse. Acute means that all the angles in the triangle are less than 90. Whereas a right means that it has one angle that is 90. And obtuse means that it has one angle that is greater than 90 degrees. Now that we've gone over the types of triangles and their angles, let's do a little bit of mixing. So let's take a look at this triangle right here. It has a right angle, two equal sides, and two equal angles, which makes it a right isosceles. Now let's modify it just a little bit. All the sides are now different, and all the angles are now different. But we still have a right angle, which makes this a right scalene triangle. Here, we have a triangle who has an angle more than 90 degrees. So that automatically makes it obtuse. Now let's look at the sides. All of the sides are not the same. So that automatically makes it a scalene. So this triangle is an obtuse scalene triangle. Try playing with it on your own and see what kind of triangles you can form. After going over the types of triangles, let's go over perimeter and area. Here, we have a triangle that is 3 feet by 4 feet by 5 feet. To find the perimeter, very simple. Just add up all of the sides to figure out the total distance around the triangle. Which would be 12 feet. What that's saying is, if I were to walk along this triangle, I would walk a total of 12 feet. Let's talk about area now. Area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height, which basically means we have our base right here, and we have our height right here. We take our base, which is right here, and we take our height, we multiply them together, and we divide by 2. Very simple. 1/2 times 4 is the same thing as dividing by 2. 4 divided by 2 is actually 2. And 2 times 3 gives us 6. The area of this triangle is 6 feet. Let's figure out how we got this formula in the first place. If we look at a triangle, it's really about half the size of a rectangle. The area of a rectangle is just the base times the height. Very simple. If we look at a triangle, which is half of the area of a rectangle, all we have to do is divide by 2. Fun fact, perimeter is the total distance around something. Area is everything inside of the shape. There we have it, the basics of triangles. If you have any questions, just leave it down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you next time on Kimtar's Math.